Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to Alexis Faye Yoga. I am so very glad that you decided to join me today. I've got a flow planned for you to get us into our hips, to build some strength, some flexibility, and some mobility. Now, if that sounds good to you, roll out to your mat, hit the like and subscribe buttons down below, and we'll flow right into it. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another week of yoga. Be firm, sending that right foot back. Now we'll begin in our mountain pose, bringing our ankles under our knees, under our hips. We'll pick up the toes, spread them out nice and wide, and then grip them into the earth. Lifting the top of the head up nice and tall, we'll pull the shoulders up to the ears. We'll squeeze them together at the spine and then draw them down the back. Rotate the palms forward. We'll find a slight tuck to the pelvis so we have a long spine. And we'll take a few deep breaths, pressing into the toes. And then with our next in-breath, we'll circle the arms up overhead, reach nice and tall to the sky. We'll start to lift the chest by pressing the chest forward and sliding the eyes up the wall in front of us. With our exhale, we'll bring hands to heart center as we move our weight into our right foot and pick up our left. Now we'll find a staff pose here. Lifting that left knee up as high as we can. We'll get a little bit of a warm up for those hips going. Now we're going to lift it in a rainbow shape out towards our side. We'll drop the knee down towards the floor and lift it up and around, finding some hip circles while standing here, drawing big round shapes out to our sides. Now, if you need to find a wall to hold on to or another prop, that's all right too. Focusing on those big circles. And then we'll switch directions, bringing the knee forward, down, up, and out. And we'll do one more. Before setting that left leg down, we'll wiggle out to reset. With a big breath in, sweep the arms up to the sky. Slight back bend. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Move your weight into your left. Pick up your right knee. Lift that right knee nice and tall. Now we'll find our circles on this side. Lifting as we turn the hip open towards our side. Pivot the heel around so it's behind the body. As we bring the knee down towards the floor. Drawing those large looping hip circles out to our side. And then we'll switch directions and circle the knee forward. And then we'll come back through center and drop that right foot down, wiggle out some more. With a big breath in, we'll reach the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, bring hands to heart center. Inhale, circle the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more time, sweep the arms up to the sky. This time, we'll swan dive forward, reaching the arms out towards our sides as we start to bow and hinge forward, finding our forward fold. We'll wiggle out the legs, we'll swivel out the hips. Whatever's feeling right here in your forward fold. Now with our next in-breath, we'll move to a halfway lift, pressing into the toes, reach forward with the top of the head, and we'll start to engage through the core, pulling the belly button towards the spine. Exhale, we'll hinge and fold forward again. Now dropping the fingertips down towards the top of the mat, we'll step, hop, or float our feet back to our plank pose. Shifting a little further forward, we'll lower all the way down to the mat. Inhale for a cobra pose. Press the hips into the earth, press the tops of the feet to the ground, and lift through the top of the head and the trunk. Exhale, we'll lower a little closer towards the ground so we can press into the hands, tuck the toes, lift through our plank to our down dog. Now again here, we'll take a little bit of time to wiggle out. Swivel the hips, pedal out the legs, finding some form of movement that feels right to you and your body today. And then we'll sweep our left leg up to the sky. Circle the ankle out in one direction. We'll circle the ankle around in the other. Now bending at the knee, we'll draw knee to nose, rounding through the spine as we shift forward and step that left foot towards the top of our mat. Finding our runner's lunge here, we'll bring a full breath in and an even larger breath back out. As we do so, we'll drop our right knee down, untuck the toes. And with an inhale, we'll shift the arms up towards the sky, lifting the chest forward. And with our exhale, we'll send the hips towards the top of our mat for our low lunge. Holding here for a minute or so. Now we'll bring our left hand to our left knee, or we'll bring it around the back to our right hip, but we're going to reach tall with our right hand, and then start to find a side bend, reaching those right fingertips towards the left side of the mat, trying to keep the arm over the head. So we're not curling and reaching the arm in front of the body, we're reaching up and over the trunk. With an in-breath, lift back up, coming to a nice tall stance through the spine. Send both arms to the sky. With our exhale, we'll press long through the left leg. Send the hips towards the back of the mat and bow forward, finding our half splits. Now we're going to find our breath again and flow back and forth between our low lunge and our half splits. So as we breathe in, we'll shift forward, send the arms to the sky, lift the chest. As we exhale, we'll lengthen the left leg, hinging and softening towards the knee. And we'll airplane the arms behind the back, squeezing shoulder blades in together. Inhale to shift forward, reach tall. Exhale to hinge, squeeze the shoulders. And we'll move back and forth a few more times with your own breath. And the next time that we are back in our low lunge, we'll bring our right hand down beside that left foot, and we'll reach that left hand up towards the sky, or just past the back, finding a little bit of a twist. With our exhale, circle the hand in and around, and we'll bring it to the inside of our left knee. Now we'll move to our lizard pose. We can heel toe that left foot out a little further away from the hands, out towards the outer edges of our mat. We can roll onto the pinky side edge of the foot. But whichever variation or however we set up for this pose, we're going to focus on softening the hips towards the top of the mat and trying to keep the spine long. So maybe leaving the chest up and the eyes forward. You can even drop down to your forearms if you'd like a little more depth. Good. We'll shift the hips back so we can heel toe our left foot back in line, back framed out by the hands. We'll tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee off the mat. Now we're going to lead with our back leg. Lead with our right knee. And we're going to find a little forward and back shifting. And then we're going to take that right knee through standing and reach it up in front of the chest, back to our staff pose. Lift that right knee as high as we can to the sky. And then we'll set it down. And we'll wiggle out to reset. And then with an in-breath, we'll reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale to hinge and bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, step, hop, or float the feet back. We'll shift a little further forward and chaturanga to an up dog or to a cobra. We'll soften the chest closer to the floor as we lift the hips up and back for our down dog. And we'll pedal out some more. Now sending the right leg up and back, we'll circle the ankle out in one direction and around in the other. We'll bend at the knee, draw Nichi nose, rounding and rolling through the spine as we shift forward. And step the right foot through. We'll bring a full breath in. And an even larger breath back out as we drop our left knee to the mat. Inhale to sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale to press the hips forward, low lunge. Now we'll find our side stretch on this side by placing our right hand on our right knee, or by bringing that right hand around to our left hip. We'll try and keep the arm over top of the head as we start to reach the left hand towards the right side of our mat. Then in breath, we'll circle back up, send both arms to the sky. And with our exhale, we'll press into the right knee, taking the leg towards straight, hinging and folding forward to our half splits. Now again, we're going to move back and forth with this flow. With our in-breath shifting forward to our low lunge, sweep the arms to the sky. With our exhale, hinging, pressing those hips back behind, airplane the arms, soften the chest towards our thigh. And we'll flow back and forth. And the next time that we breathe in and shift to our low lunge, we'll move to another twist by planting our left hand down beside our right foot. We'll reach our right hand up towards the sky, or we'll take it just beyond our body, out towards the left side of our mat. With our exhale, we'll bring that right hand all the way back in and around, and then to the inside of our right leg. Moving to our lizard pose on this side, we can inchworm that foot out further, or roll to the pinky side edge of the foot. We'll press the hips forward and lift the chest and the top of the head to keep the spine long. Now start to press back through the hips to give us the space to heel toe our right foot in between the hands. Pressing into the right foot, we'll tuck our left toes under, lift through our runner's lunge, finding a few forward and back shifting motions. And then we're going to drive forward with our left knee. Take it up in front of the body. For our staff pose, lift the left knee nice and tall. Taking a few deep breaths. And then setting that foot down, wiggling out to reset. And again, with an in-breath, we'll sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, hinging and bowing forward. Inhale, halfway lift, press into the toes, reach long through the spine. Exhale to fold, softening towards the legs. We'll drop the hands down, step, hop, or float back to your plank pose. You'll take a moment or two. And then we can do the same flow we've been doing, chaturanga to an up dog or cobra, or we can take a moment in a child's pose, dropping the knees, pressing the hips back. And then coming back to our down dog when you're feeling ready. Now we'll sweep our left leg up towards the sky and bend at the knee. We're going to shift forward, bringing our left knee towards our left elbow, and then towards our right elbow. Back to our left, to our right, to our left, to our right, and back towards our left. Slowly softening and rotating our ankle in so we can start to set up for a pigeon pose. We'll soften back into those hips. Walk the hands in towards the body to help you sit up nice and tall. And we can stay here up tall in our pigeon pose, or we can move to a sleeping pigeon by walking the hands forward, stacking the forearms and bringing the forehead on top. We'll take a little bit of time here in our pigeon to soften, bringing large, full, deep breaths in through the nose, carrying that breath all the way down into the lower abdomen, and then pressing the breath back out, pulling the core in, and maybe softening a little more towards the floor, into that space that our breath was, before we start fresh with a new breath in. Now, if we have moved into our sleeping pigeon pose, we'll walk the hands back in towards the body to help us lift the chest up nice and tall. And then we're going to squeeze the legs together like we're going to lift up off our mat. You can keep your hands down, or you can lift your hands as well, squeezing in with both legs. And we'll hold for a little bit before we soften and let it go. Bringing the hands around towards the top of the mat, frame out the left knee, tuck the right toes, lift the right leg. We'll hug the left knee to the chest as we shift back to our three-legged dog, to our down dog, and take a moment. And then we'll send our right leg up. Bend at the knee, draw knee to nose, we'll shift forward, bringing our right knee to our right elbow. And then across to the left elbow. And then the right. And the left. And the right. And the left. One more time, over to our right. Bring the ankle forward. Soften it down towards the earth, starting to set up in our pigeon pose. We'll walk the hands in towards the body to help us lift the chest up tall. And then again, we can stay here in our pigeon, or we can move to our sleeping pigeon. And we'll take a little bit of time to soften, to relax into this pose. To relax into our hips. Now again, if we're in our sleeping pigeon pose, we'll start to walk the hands back into the body. Help us lift the chest up tall. And then again, we're going to find that squeeze, drawing in on both legs like we're going to bunch the yoga mat up underneath of us. You can lift your hands or you can keep them down. Holding, drawing in. And then we'll soften and let go. Planting the hands down, tucking the left toes, lift the left knee, We'll hug the right knee up to the chest as we shift back. Send it to our three-legged dog, and then to our down dog. We'll pedal out the legs a little bit more, swivel the hips. Now add more of a bend to the knees, bringing the abdomen closer to the thighs. And we're going to frog hop to our hands. So bending, hopping forward, and then we'll drop down into a bit of a ball. So we're softening the body, and we're lifting up onto the heels. So the knees are straight out in front of the body. We can lift up tall if you'd like, or you can keep the legs to the chest. And then we're going to make our way down onto our mat. So from here, we can either drop both hands down in the same direction, circle the ankles around in the other, or we can roll back like an egg. If you're going to roll, please, please, please tuck chin to chest so you don't smash the back of your head when you roll. If you're going to roll, wrap your arms around the legs, chin to chest, and then soften forward and back a few times. Good, whichever variation we're in, we'll make our way to a seated position with our legs long in front of the body. Now give those legs a little bouncing, a little wiggling. And we'll point the toes straight up to the sky, lifting tall through the top of the head, sitting up nice and tall on those sits bones, and we'll send the arms to the sky as well. So the toes are up, the fingers are up. We're even kind of bringing our palms or our pinky fingers in together, so we're using our triceps as well to hold us here. And we'll take a few deep breaths. At the end of each exhale, recheck your posture. Sit up just a little bit taller. Press your chest forward, reach your arms up. And we'll bring hands to heart center. We want the same nice tall posture here with the toes pointed up. And we'll try without using our hands first. If you need to use your hands, that's okay too. But we'll try without first to see how it goes. But we'll lift our left leg up off the mat and set it down. And lift our right leg off the mat and set it down. And we'll go back and forth, marching, lifting one at a time, lifting as high as we can, and then setting it down. If you start to shift back a little bit, that's okay. That means that your core is trying to activate too, and I'm all right with that. But if you want to use just your hip flexors and just your quads, focus on shifting forward again. You will not be able to lift your leg as high, or probably will not be able to lift your leg as high. But if you're really wanting to target your quads and your hip flexors, shift forward. We'll do one more on each side, lifting and lowering. Lifting and lowering. Now circle the hands back behind the body. We'll walk the bottoms of the feet in a little closer and then out towards the outer edges of our mat. So our heels are wider than our hips. The feet are out towards the outer edges of the mat. And we'll do a little windshield wipering side to side. As we do so, really trying to get both knees down to the ground. You may notice that you're starting to shift forward as you do so. That's all right. Just bring your hands in a little bit closer. Or scoot back. next time that both knees are over to our left side, we'll walk the hands in so that we are up on our hips. We want both legs at a 90-degree angle at the knee. So if you need to adjust, please do so. Now hands can come to heart center, they can come to our hips, they can even drop to the ground. But again, we're gonna try with our hands up to begin with. And we're gonna really target that outer glute. To do so, we're gonna lift our right leg up off the mat and set it down. Now, if you can only lift it a little bit, or you can only lift the ankle or the knee, that's okay. But we're going to envision lifting the leg and setting it down. We'll do 2 more. Inhale to lift the right, set it down. And 1 more time, lift the right, set it down. Good. Circle the arms back behind the body. Take a moment. And then we'll flip to our other side. So now both knees are over towards our right. Reset. So we're in our 90-90. Sit up on the body so we're not leaning back. We're nice and tall. Hands to heart center, to the hips or to the floor. We're trying to keep our chest pointed towards our right knee as we lift the left leg and set it down. Lift the left and set it down. Lift and lower. And we'll do 1 more. Lift and lower. You may have noticed that one side was a lot easier than the other, and that is normal and natural. We'll come back through center, lifting both legs, both knees up towards the sky. We'll heel toe them back in line. So heels are same distance away from each other as the hips are from each other. And then we'll shift so that we're down in a laying position. Now walking the bottoms of the feet in a little bit closer to the body, we'll bring the hands on either sides of the body, palms down. And then we're going to press through the heels as we lift into our bridge pose, squeezing the glutes, lifting the hips towards the sky, chin to chest, and lower. We'll do a couple of these. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. Moving with your own breath. Squeezing the glutes, trying to keep the knees the same distance apart so they're not coming in or coming away from each other. Good, and then the next time that the hips are up, we're gonna hold. And we're gonna squeeze the legs in together without actually bringing them any closer. And then we'll lower the hips the rest of the way down. Now bring knees to the chest. Wrap the arms around. You can find a little rocking side to side or forward and back. And from here, I highly recommend moving into a Shavasana pose to let all of that goodness from our practice soak in for the nervous system to come back to a peaceful state. But if you are ready to move on with your day, you can start to rock forward and back until we come up to a seated position. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll close the eyes and place the hands on the knees, palms up to receive. Or bring hands to heart center, palms together. We'll take a large breath in through the nose. And let it go as an open mouth sigh. We'll find 2 more breaths like this. Breathing in through the nose, fully filling the lungs with air. And an open mouth sigh to let it go. And 1 more time. Thank you so very much for joining me today. It is always such a joy and an honor to get to spend this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go in love, go in light, go in peace, and go in joy.